Well, ever since Hurricane Harvey hit, my previous recordings for chapters 3 and 4 have been rendered non-essential. So now we'll cover the essentials from chapter 3 and 4. First off, starting with Jamestown. It was the first English colony. Woo! And also the worst one, because basically most of the people who went there died by disease or Indians. And the only reason Jamestown really survived at all was because of two leaders. First, John Smith, the famous one. And then, after that, there was Lord de la Warr. And basically, those two leaders basically kept the colonists still there, even though at some point most of them wanted to leave, because it was a really shitty swamp with no gold, no silver, and nothing to really do except grow tobacco, which really turned around Jamestown and future colonies. However, relations with the natives weren't really all that good after this, because there was still plenty of conflict, even after John Smith had kind of, made friends with the Indians. Then he left, basically. So, still more fights with the Indians. So yeah, that's Jamestown for you. Next, I'm going to cover the other people that came to America first. Specifically, the separatists who wanted to separate from the Church of England and then became known as the Pilgrims, who made the Plymouth colony, and the Puritans, who were led by a guy named John Winthrop. So, the Pilgrims basically, they got there, they made a Mayflower Compact, beginning of government by consent of the peoples. They arrived too late to build shelter for a really harsh winter, a lot of them died. And then eventually some Native Americans came over, helped them out, and they had a Thanksgiving and all sorts of cool shit. Cool. But the other group were the Puritans, who wanted to purify the Church of England. And I hope the lack of ability to show air quotes or quotation marks doesn't necessarily take away from the sarcastic tone. They were kind of just like different separatists. They wanted the church to be different, but instead of leaving, they wanted to make it better, but eventually just left anyway. So it's like, what was the point? There was none. Anyway, they were led by a guy named John Winthrop, who said, alright, we're gonna make the best fucking colony in the world. We shall be as a city upon a hill, all eyes of the people are upon us. And so they wanted to basically make the Puritan colony a model for old England to follow, even though, that didn't really happen. But they did, sorry about that. But they did, get a bunch of colonists over there and started a colony, which was, pretty cool. The Puritans eventually split up because they all were, really conflicted about how best do we be Christians. So they some guys eventually made Connecticut, and then some guys made Rhode Island, and then, They also at some point made the Halfway Covenant, which allowed children of church members to become church members, which is a little bit pushing what I need to cover, but, might be mentioned. And it also let more people in the Puritan area become voters, because only church members were voters. So, yeah. Moving on. So, at some point, more colonies pop up, and it's all well and good, and, eventually, of course, there starts to become a lot of fucking rich people, or rather, a couple of rich people, and a shit ton of poor people. And at one point in Virginia, there was this really, really, really big asshole called Sir William Berkeley, who's the governor of Virginia, and basically said, fuck the poor people, man. I don't give a shit. And all the poor people went like, we gotta fight this. And so this guy named Nathaniel Bacon went like, alright, I'm not gonna stand for this. You're not gonna stand for this. We're gonna rebel. We're gonna kill Indians. We're gonna stop the rich people from slaving over us. And after Bacon's rebellion, all the rich people went like, well, indentured servants are bad because I don't have control over them, and then they might revolt. But I can get slaves, and since they don't count as people, I have total control. This kind of, this kind of started the drive towards let's get more slaves that, totally aren't people, and I can do whatever the fuck I want with them. Ha! Get wrecked, indentured servants. You can circumvent the need for rights if you just get people that are considered to have none, basically. It's a really terrible way to think about it, but it's how they did it. After, the colonies, rather, because it's not America yet, it's just Britain, but they're across the ocean. And so, the economic practice practiced by the Britons was mercantilism, as in, there's a limited amount of wealth, right? This was the mercantilism ideology thought process. There's a limited amount of wealth, and I want all of it. So, Britain just basically took all the colonies and said, you're going to give all your shit to us, and in exchange we might give some stuff to you, so you can keep getting shit for us. Mainly, we're the winners here. And the colonies eventually went like, well, I want to be a winner too, and so they favored more capitalism, as in, well, it's not like the wealth matters, it's that I can trade with a lot of people, right? It's kind of a weird way to think about it. But basically, like, I can increase my overall wealth if I can, trade between everybody. And then we can all get wealthy because we'll be trading with each other and getting the most profit for each other by getting the cheapest stuff here and on and on and on. And I can be rich and you can be rich and we can all be, pretty rich. But, England just wants to be the only rich guy. So that was why they practiced mercantilism. And, passing stuff like the 1660 Navigation Act and others really fucking pissed off the colonists, man. They just wanted to trade, so they ignored it, or just tried to find some way to break this law and trade with somebody else to get more money, get more trade. And so, the triangle trade was what it was supposed to be like according to the Britons. Americans get slaves from Africa and then sends raw materials to England, who sends manufactured materials everywhere else. So yeah, that was the thing. Second to last, we have the First Great Awakening, which was following the Age of Enlightenment, which is important to cover first, because all these colonists over here, they're separated from like all the main religious places. So eventually, some people went like, this religion thing, I don't know, man. It seems kind of fishy. I mean, I'll believe in God. I'm still Christian, but like, I don't feel the need to have a strong faith. And this also led to more rational thought and more scientific stuff and things and stuff. And so eventually all them religious priests over in Europe went like, shit, dude, these people are non-religious. We gotta fix this. And so happened the First Great Awakening, with people like Jonathan Edwards and George Whitefield becoming preachers to try to revive religion in society. And oh man, it fucking worked. Like, colleges became more religious to train more reverends and pastors and ministers, and people who weren't religious became religious, and people who were religious became more religious. Like, it just kind of was like the response to not having religion, getting more religion. That was the response. Well, that's how it worked. Finally, I'm pretty sure you know this, but we're going to cover this one more time, since I'm almost out of time. Southern colonies, like more farming shit, because they got, they have the better climate for it. They did plantations, indigo, rice, all that good shit. Middle colonies were kind of the same, but also kind of different. They also grew some more tobacco and other stuff. And then the northern colonies were more lumber and like shipbuilding. That's what everybody thinks of. And honestly, I've read this textbook so many times in this particular section, and I honestly don't find many differences. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm bad, maybe I'm terrible at reading textbooks, and I should take better notes or something, but it doesn't really, doesn't really cover how much different the three groups of colonies were. But, as long as you have those main ideas in your head, that the southern was more of plantations and a more slave society, even though all the colonies were a slave society, but they were used differently, right? In the north, urban servants, right? Or maybe on like a farm, or more likely in industrial stuff and shipbuilding. While in the south, it was more the plantation work that you think of. So, yeah, I can't really think of anything else. And so that was the essentials, apparently, of chapters 3 and 4. I'm looking to get a better mic, and so chapter 5 may be a little bit delayed, but it will come out before whatever you've got. So keep an eye out. I'll see you later. Don't die. Get sleep. If you know what that is, because I don't.